What is up, everybody? It's your boy Jeffrey, and I have a fantastic Ableton Live rack for you. I was thinking about it. This rack is so good that it's going to repair your relationship with your broken father, decide on your next Halloween costume, and get you a date Friday night. That's how good this rack is. So let's take a listen to it. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. Very cool. Alright, okay, so maybe, well, let's just talk about it. It's a MIDI rack, alright? So you can use it to create all different types of sounds, but it doesn't actually create any sounds. So here's the rack. It's called the jInversion chain selector. Now, I just named it that because it's reminding me that it's controlling the inversions via the chain selector. I made a different one that made it controlled via velocity. Gotta be honest, that one kind of sucked. But this one is cooler, and so I present it to you. I'm using the electric, which is the Ableton Live electric piano synthesizer. But of course, you could use it to power any, whatever synth you want. So here is just one of the channels. Get this metronome out of here. So you can see down here that we're going through different inversions. And you can see up here, we just have one note over and over again. And I'm pretty sure it's just a C, yeah. And then we're going through these different inversions. So as you turn this, your one key, there we go. So that's with my computer keyboard, and I can turn this and hear all sorts of different inversions that I've programmed for you. So we go through all sorts of crazy inversions, and if you leave this auto on, you can, so that's root, that's first inversion, going up the octave, that's second inversion going down the octave, first inversion going down the octave, there's a sus2 chord, sus2 inverted, sus2 inverted, first inversion, sixths, sevenths, ninths, 11ths, 13ths. So we go all the way through that. So for those of you who are hip to the music theory stuff, basically we have our root inverted two different directions. Then we have sus2, sus4. Then we go 6th, 7th, 9th, 11th, 13th, and inversions for all of those. Now, if you don't know music theory, it doesn't really matter because this rack does all that for you in whatever key you want. So you just turn this to determine your key. And you actually have to look over here. And it says here to look at bass. So if I want it to be in B, I turn it until this says B. And you'll notice this is transposing along with. So that works because I use the computer keyboard. And so now that's actually playing a B. Even though I'm playing the C keyboard because this is transposing with it. So if that's not how you want to roll, then you're going to want to unmap and just set that to 0. Because maybe not everybody's using the computer keyboard, but I usually do use the computer keyboard, and so I like 1 to be the actual A key, as in the first chord within the key. Then we have some easy octave ups, octave downs. Just because. This is a major minor. If you want to do this in a minor key, so like C minor. This is kind of unsupported, as in I cannot guarantee that all these chords are going to spell out exactly the way that they should. What I would recommend, instead of using the minor mode, I would use the major mode and go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's A minor, and so now that's, if you're familiar with your relative minors, just play, that's your minor key. So you would need to know, yeah, what's your relative. So C would be A minor, D would be B minor. Just Google relative minor, you should really learn it. Skrillex knows how to do all that stuff, so you should too. Alright, velocity. This controls a velocity guy who's somewhere in here. So if you just always want it to be 127, and again, that's because I'm using the computer keyboard, and I find it convenient to do that. But if you turn it all the way down, then it's just off, and then you can play your piano. I usually put it, somewhere around here, and then I give a little bit of random, whoa, and that's going to make it sound a little bit more like a keyboard player who has, who's using 10 fingers, because each one of these notes is going to get a little bit of a different velocity applied. This knob I'm kind of excited about. This is the arpeggio selector, and what I did, I spent some time, and is this the one? Yeah. So if you can see here, there's 128 arpeggiators. Thank you. With all these different types of settings, and so when you turn this, it turns the chain selector. Whoa, that's crazy! And you can basically try all these different presets from the arpeggiator without actually doing anything. Now, if you find one you like and you want to change it a little bit, then you just go into the JARP selector and you hit auto. There it is. So now we can change this to suit whatever. But at least this way you can and just like some different cool ideas or whatever. And of course, if you don't like, well, you can just turn it to the first one and then just set it your arpeggiator however you want it, or throw an arpeggiator, whatever. I just like the idea of throwing this knob and then just see what happens. And that's how I got the sound for what we heard earlier, which is this. Let's go back to arrangement. So that's what this is here. And I've got ARP62 selected. And now let's go try different. And it's a little bit different each time. That one kind of sucks. So we're going to go back to 62. And I tried to make it 128 so that every different time, but I didn't. It must have been an old one. What a noob. So let's go to this one and let's see if my ARP selector is as intended. Let's go to that. Boom, 128. Yeah, so this is the one we're going to want to use. And let's just label this one the old one. Sorry about that. Okay, this extra MIDI channel, what is this guy doing? Well, it's taking the MIDI from channel 2 and it's recording it. So if you hear this, get that ARP out of there. This MIDI right here is what that sounds like. So if you want to get in there and change the MIDI up, all you got to do is re-record it, dump it onto a different channel, and then you can continue to make that awesome. Alright, so that's what is actually being played, and now if we just move some of these around, it sounds even more realistic. Well, maybe it doesn't sound realistic, it just sounds different. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, maybe this one goes over here. Yeah. And then we'll maybe make this one, shorten that up, duplicate it. That first one sucks. It's too loud. I don't know, that is not what I thought it was going to be. Let's try that. Weird noise. What is... Is that? Alright. Not sure why that was so ugly. But it is now gone. Let's do that. Alright. So you can see how this rack is capable of generating cool keyboard parts. Stuff that a guitar player like myself would never be able to play with my own two hands. But you can program it just by laying something down and using this inversion knob and then the ARP knob. It's a good time. It really is. So, check out the download on my site, jeffreyhart.com/Ableton. There'll be a link in the description to the article that contains that. And, yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. And thanks for checking out this video and this rack. And I love you. Bye.